Lord, I did come to Bible study, but no one was there. I did go to Sunday school, so I should be exempt from pain and suffering. Not so. Why? Because we said we Christ-like. I know I'm right about it. If we are Christ-like, we must suffer like Christ did. Christ, you never find in the Bible say Christ was satisfied. But all throughout the Bible, you find out where it says Christ suffered. If Christ suffered, why can't you suffer? See, sometimes we go through things because God is trying to authenticate our faith. And sometimes we're not ready for that. We just, woe is me Christians that don't want to go through nothing. We want everything to just be going well. See, you have to understand, when you look at the text and you understand that they resolved in their spirit, whether I live or die, I'm going to still serve the true and the living God. How about you? Will you serve God no matter what? Yeah. Would you put your life on your line? Because you know the Lord put his life on the line for you. Yeah. So you got to think about it. He put his name on his line for you. He keep talking. He keep bragging to the devil. Have you considered the members of the Sermon on the Mount? I won't even put a hedge around them because their faith is authentic. Because they're going through trial after trial and they continue to stand up straight in the situation. So when you look at it, so how did that make the king feel? Did he get scared and say, okay, don't worry about it? No. His ego allowed him to get even madder. So what did the king do? He turned the fire up 7 times more than it normally is. He was so hot. And then he hired all these valiant men from his army to tie and bound them up. Because normally when you put people in the fire, because that was an ancient culture, they used to just throw people in the fire all the time when they didn't do right. They stripped them naked so they can burn faster. But he wanted them to suffer, so he allowed them to keep all of their clothes on, and he bound them. But watch what happens. So if you look at our text, he said, verse 20 says, and he commanded certain mighty men of valor who was in his army to bind up Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego and cast them into the burning fiery furnace. Then these men was bound in their coats, their trousers, their turbans, and the other garments, and they cast them in the midst of the burning fiery furnace. But watch this though, this is how good God is. Therefore, because of the king's command was urgent, the furnace was exceedingly hot. The flames of the fire killed those men who took up Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. So your haters can be so dead set of trying to kill your spirit and take your faith that the Lord will burn them up in the process. Because while you're so hell-bent on getting rid of your spirit and knock you down a peg, if you will, they end up digging ditches for themselves. See, that's when you have to focus on God and not your situation. See, when you're under fire and you're going through and you're having these faith challenges, if you will, you must look up and not look down. You have to look and watch God work. And sometimes he says, stand still and know that I am God. See, that don't mean just stand and look stupid. He said, continue to do what you've been doing. That you praising me and giving me glory. And I'll be working out your situation behind the scenes. Amen? So when you look at verse 23, it says, these 3 men, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, they fell down, bound in the midst of the burning furnace. See, even though they understood the risk, all they had to do was just bow. A lot of us be trying to rationalize it. Well, you know, God understand I'm only human. Yeah, he know you're human, he made you. But sometimes he expects you to stand for something, or else we'll fall for anything. What do you believe in that your character is at stake, that you're willing to cast to the side in order not to go through pain or go through suffering? And they knew it was resolved in their spirit that they knew that God would deliver them. But if not, they was ready to just do whatever their faith, whatever it had to do. They end up falling in the furnace. Most people stop reading right there. Wow, they did all that and they still died? What kind of happy ending is that? But see, God is in total control. They fell in the fire in verse 23 in the midst of the situation. But don't you know, we serve a God who will meet you there before you get there? Yes. Amen?
Amen.
Watch this, verse 24. The king Nebuchadnezzar was astonished. That means they hurried up, jumped up. What is going on? Something was amazing to them. Because he was so arrogant, I had to watch these brothers burn. So he's just looking, watching them burn, and he's looking like he jumped up out of his seat with astonishment. He said, and he rose up in haste, so he didn't waste no time. He said to the counselors, did we not cast in 3 men bound in the midst of the fire? They answered, true, O king. He said, look. I mean, when he said look, he was like, what? I can't say what he was thinking. There's some letters and some initials. See? He looked, he said, he answered, I see 4 men loose. God meets you where you are. God was there before they got there, and he took care of the situation. So God allowed you to walk on your situation sometimes. If you notice, he says they walking around in the midst of the fire. See, sometimes God don't take you out of the situation, but he insulates you while you're in the situation until you come out.
All right. Amen.
Because he's trying to show the world his power.
Amen.
Amen? Because when you come out, you're going to come out way better than you ever did.
Amen.
Watch this, though.